Okay, so I want to throw out a question that I think we can ask ourselves on a regular basis in order to facilitate healing on many levels. In fact, I would argue that many disease processes originate as related to what I'm about to tell you. So bear with me. Thanks for tuning in. The question is this: in what ways am I not being authentic with myself? Variation. How am I lying to myself? In what ways am I deluding myself? What I have found in observing human beings, in observing disease and illness and health and all of this hooked together, is that what is present in the healing process is this perpetual question over and over again that we ask, and legitimately ask it, authentically ask it, and really seek to grapple with it over time and over the course of our lives. Let me give you an example from the physiological realm. On the back of your eye are receptors called rods and cones. They are the part of your eye that take in light and essentially create the picture that then your brain makes sense of and figures out what you see. There are, on each eye, there are places where there are no rods and cones. It's referred to as the blind spot because you do not have any perceptive receptors there to take in what's there in a space in the back of your eye. What happens is the brain interprets what the rods and cones around it see and fills in a hole so that when you look out at your visual field, you don't see a hole. It's not missing. It's filled in the gaps. I think this is a perfect picture of our interdependence with other people in terms of perceiving ourselves, perceiving our blind spots, the things that we cannot see about ourselves on a mental emotional level, on a psychological level, on a spiritual level, even on a physical level. We rely and ultimately we are relational beings. We can't really exist without other people. And some of the most significant pathologies that develop over time have to do with, at least on the mental emotional level, affect this relating, this piece of the blind spot and other people filling in our gap, our hole in our lives. So, for example, the narcissist. The narcissist ultimately, the way I see it, stops allowing the visual field to be filled in. So there's a blind spot, and because the narcissist basically cuts themselves off from true, authentic relatability from other people, in other words, I don't need you, it's my way or the highway, and there's this rigidity with holding their own perspective. So there's a huge hole, they can't see it, and they can't get it filled in by other people because they literally shut themselves off from true perception by other people. In fact, if other people try to point out problems, they will eject them from the circle that is their life. And so they cut them off. And this is a problem because then there's a blind spot, and the blind spot only grows and gets larger, and the hardest delusion and lie to get around is the one you tell yourself. So all of that to say, I think it's a valid thing and probably one of the most useful things to authentically ask ourselves on a regular basis, what are my blind spots? What am I not seeing? What am I not perceiving? What is it that I need help from other people to see? And in so doing, we can be on that path to growth and healing, and not in the other direction towards disease. Thanks for tuning in. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Audio.